Welcome to the Unitarian Universalists of Southold. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we welcome you. Today we are gathering on the traditional lands of the Ammonhansuk Nation, the original stewards of this land many thousands of years ago. My name is Susan Johnson. I'm a member of this congregation and of the Worship Music Committee. We are so glad to see you, whether you are visiting us for the first time or come often. If you are not on our mailing list or email list, please sign our guest book on the high desk, and you will receive the Free Spirit monthly newsletter and hear about upcoming events. Please like us on our Facebook page and stream on our YouTube channel. We stream our services on YouTube, where you can find past services also. The entry hall has lots of information about our congregation, events and sign-up sheets for various volunteer activities, committees, and events, all open for both members and non-members. Please stay after the service for coffee, refreshments, and lively conversation. On the back of your order of service is a list of all the events that are happening. April 25th through May 7th, this beautiful art exhibit hanging in our galleries in the hall and in the small program room will be open for the public with an opportunity to browse, and also, if you wish to buy a photograph, it's part of that cost is contributed to the church. The class is resuming on June 9th. Yoga meditation, Nancy Bayless, 10:30 a.m. Tuesdays. May 13th, and weekly, the piano masterclass given by Charlotte Day. May 13th, there's a social action committee and 8th Principal Task Force at 4 p.m. May 13th and 27th, learn to dance with hoops for the Pride Parade, which we will be attending and participating in on the 27th of June. May 16th, an evening with David Roth, a musician, and he is giving a beautiful concert at the Jamesport Meeting House. There are flyers on the table to tell you a little bit about him and his beautiful musicality. May 17th, Sunday service, The God Spark, Living a Radiant Life by Megan Booney. May 17th, annual meeting. Please, everybody come. It's a very opportunity to hear about all that we are doing at the church and our hopes for the future. And those who have not submitted their pledge, please do so before then, so we have some idea of the monies that we have to do the work we want to do. May 24th, Sunday service, from Saint to Bodhisattva Mary James. And May 24th, North Fork Action Center at 4 p.m. So anybody else who wishes to make a brief announcement? All right. It's now the time in our service when we greet our neighbors and wish them peace and hope. Our bodies hold a spark of life that dwells within each body present, recognizing the fullness of our shapes and sizes, our countless stars in an infinite universe. Like this chalice, may each spark burn, fierce as our resistance to oppression, bright as our hopes for a better tomorrow, strong as the love that holds all our bodies within the care of its beloved community. Here we have come into this sacred space, quieter now with our readiness, hushed voices, hoping, trusting for so many things, for connection, for communion, for inspiration, for information, for healing, for wholeness, for words, for music, for celebration and consolation. Here we have come into this space, bringing all of who we are. Let us be willing, however we are changed. Our opening hymn is number 1026 in the teal hymnal, If Every Woman in the World. Please rise as you are able. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. That when we hold the skies, let words of love and peace arise. Let joyful songs of praise resound through every land, by every tongue. Now is the time in the service when we collect the offering for the work of this wonderful community. Thank you very much. Now is the time of our service when we drop stones so that we can tell others about our joys and concerns. Okay.
I'm going to drop a stone for all the mothers who have lost a child or children. I'm going to drop a stone for all the mothers that have been separated from their children by ICE. I'm going to drop a stone for all the mothers who didn't set out intending to be single moms but end up in that situation, which changes the way we parent. And I just want to wish my sister in heaven a happy birthday.
Sorry I haven't heard too often, but I want to wish my mom happy Mother's Day for being a great mom. She's 101. She's amazing, strong, and still out there. Okay, it's actually 85. Well, Dick paid me $10 to do it. So I just want to say that, and I also want to say to my dad, who died a few years ago, that we all miss him. Thank you.
Hi, this is for the
This is Charles Lehner. We're all going to introduce ourselves to you. Anybody who doesn't know us is wrong. Charles Lehner.
Thank you.
Long-term member of the church.
Thank you, Susan. Yes, I'm Charles Lehner, and I'm happy that my mother is here, and it's Mother's Day. I'm also happy that yesterday was World Migratory Bird Day, and a lot of birds take sanctuary on Plum Island. If if you didn't know that. Lastly, I'm joyful that this large calendar, it's a multi-faith calendar, and I want to present it here. So that's a joy.
My joy is that we have a very wonderful visitor who was a part of our church for several months while she worked at CAST and became a close friend. Thank you for being here, Celestina Billington.
Of course, it's just such a joy to be here today with all of you and to see you again. Back in New York City, but I missed you guys, so I wanted to come back. And I'll share a joy. Susan and I saw the Michael Jackson movie last night, and we had a real ball. So there's a joy. Happy Mother's Day, y'all.
And of course, every time I come up, I have to wish I had about 550,000 million stones. Concerns I have for what we're going through in our government. And then I'd like to drop a stone in remembrance of Gail Alexander, who always said, "Thank you for being here. I'm here."
This is a stone for all the women in the congregation who are so nurturing, and another stone for my 96-year-old aunt who brought me through my early 20s, and for several friends who nurtured me through the late 20s, and yeah, it takes a village for each of us, and so this is for everybody here.
Let us remember there are always joys and sorrows that go unspoken for many reasons. But we are not alone as we hold one another in our hearts. Let our lives be a prayer. Let our lives be a prayer that waters dry souls, mends broken hearts, refuses to be terrorized, seeks this world's beauty, and carries us through its storms.
There is balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Sometimes I get discouraged and think my work's in vain. But then the Holy Spirit revives my soul again. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul.
Stories in the making. Some stories begin once upon a time or long, long ago, but other stories begin here and now. These stories don't always have a clear direction. Sometimes they don't even have a clear beginning. Excuse me. What they do have is possibility. Those are stories still in the making, stories that have yet to be fully written, stories with the potential to create change for good or ill. We won't know how the story ends until we get there, but we can decide what words we use to write these stories. Words like hope, kindness, gratitude, peace, courage, perseverance, joy, and love. Above all else, love. Now I'd like to introduce Grienke. She is the director of Harley, which is the Hope and Resilience, and it is a domestic violence program on the South Shore. She's a member of the South Fork, and she's a member of the South Fork UUs, and we're very happy to have her here to tell us a little bit about who she is.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay, or should I raise the mic? Pull it up? Okay. Okay. Good morning, and I want to thank you. I want to begin by saying how honored I am to be here with you today in a community that gathers around love and around the belief that every person has inherent worth and dignity. Those words are not abstract to me. They are the reason I get up and do what I do every single day. I know what it feels like to not see a way out. I grew up in a home where domestic violence was a constant presence. As a small child, I witnessed it between my parents. The fear, the yelling, the silence, the breaking dishes, the walking on eggshells that was simply a part of life for me and my sisters. I didn't have a language for it then. I just knew that something in our home was broken and that no one talked about it. What I didn't know as that child was that the pattern would follow me. As a young adult, actually still just a teenager, I found myself in my own marriage that looked a lot like what I had grown up watching. But the path from that place to where I stand today was not a straight line. It was not a clean, inspiring arc. There were years in between that were messy and confusing and full of doubt. There were moments when I wasn't sure I would ever be okay, let alone be in a position to help anyone else. I don't share that for sympathy, but because I think we do a disservice to survivors when we only see them in their victimhood or when we only tell the triumphant ending. The in-between matters. The winding road matters. And for anyone here today or anyone you love who is still on that winding road, I want you to know that the road is still going somewhere. My path to starting Hope and Resilience Long Island began over 17 years ago when I started working at the Retreat, which is an organization, for those who don't know, it's a domestic violence organization in East Hampton. After 10 years of intense and traumatizing work with over 1,000 survivors, I decided to leave there to try something different. I joined the management team for Provisions, which is a health food store on the South Fork, and they were opening a second store in Watermill 7 years ago. Sidebar, it's no longer there. But while I was there cooking organic soups and providing healthy food options for our community, women still found me and came into the store asking for help with an order of protection or filing for custody or child support. So 4 years ago, I decided that we needed a new organization on the East End to do that, to add to the services available from the retreat. Because as the population of our East End community grew significantly, especially during COVID, so did the need for support for survivors, and one agency was not enough to do it all. I want to tell you how Harley got her name, because the story of the name is really the heart of everything. I knew I wanted an acronym, something memorable, something that people could hold on to, something that didn't feel clinical or bureaucratic like women's services, which is not inclusive, or victim services, which doesn't have a positive ring to it. And what I landed on was Harley. And I will tell you that more than a few of my clients have thought that Harley was my name, which is both funny and moving because it means that the organization feels like a person to them. It feels like someone who shows up. The full name is Hope and Resilience Long Island, and every word in that name was chosen with intention. Long Island, obviously, because that's where we are. Resilience, because that is what I see in the people I serve every single day. And hope, I needed to use the word hope because of a woman I worked with early in my career whose story has never left me. Her name was Esperanza. In Spanish, Esperanza means hope. I will protect her privacy as I do for all those I serve, but I will tell you that I wanted some way to honor her. Her name lives on in the name of Harley. Every time someone says hope and resilience, I think of her. So what does Harley actually do? We support survivors of domestic abuse, sexual assault, and human trafficking here on the East End. We walk alongside women, men, and teens in some of the most vulnerable moments of their lives, helping them access safety, navigate complex legal systems, and begin to imagine a future that belongs to them. The work is real. It is sometimes a phone call at midnight. It is sitting with someone while they find the words. It's helping a mother make a safety plan while her children are asleep in the next room. It's sitting with a client for hours and hours at the police station while they write up a crime report. It's bearing witness to courage that most people will never see. Our UU tradition speaks directly to this. UU values declare that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. That's not a lofty ideal to me. That's a Tuesday morning. That is the work. I'll be honest, this work is hard in ways that are difficult to describe. The stories are heavy. The systems that survivors have to navigate are often broken and re-traumatizing. There are days when the weight of it is so much. At the end of the day, I get in my car and cry all the way home. So today on Mother's Day, I want to talk about where I find the hope to keep going. I find hope in the children. When I help a mother find safety, when I help her begin to believe that she deserves a different life, something happens that extends far beyond her. Her children are watching. Her children are learning what is normal, what is possible, what they are allowed to expect from the people who are supposed to love them. I was once one of those children. I needed someone to help my mother find hope, and I didn't have that. I can't go back and change that, but I can be the person for someone else's child today. When I see a mother stand up straighter, when I hear her say for the first time, she thinks she can do this, I think about who her children will become because of that moment. I think about the cycles that will not be passed forward. I think about the little girl or the little boy who will grow up not having to normalize violence, not having to walk on eggshells, not having to carry the painful burden their mother carried. That is where I find hope, not in the ending of one story, but in the beginning of so many others. Our UU community affirms that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity and love and compassion. I believe that. I have built my work around that belief, and I invite you to consider how you might live it too. You don't have to start an organization. You don't have to be a counselor or an advocate, but you can believe survivors when they speak. You can refuse to ask, why didn't she just leave? You can support the organizations in our community doing this work with your time, your voice, or your resources. You can be the kind of person that someone in crisis feels safe enough to call. We are all connected to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. The mother who finds safety, the child who grows up whole, the community that refuses to look away. We are all part of the same web. My name is not Harley, but Harley is me. And Harley is Esperanza. And Harley is every person who ever chose hope when they had every reason not to. Thank you so much for having me here today and giving me the opportunity to share my story.
Thank you. And you certainly are, Esperanza. Let us tell the stories of mothers, stories that could be true. Let us tell of warm mothers, soft and round, likely to be found with flour on their nose and always ready to pour you a glass of milk to go with the cookies on your plate. These mothers are increasingly rare. Let us tell of mothers who are like bubbles of champagne. They surprise your senses, leave you giggly, but when you least expect it, they erupt with an unexpected pop. Stories that could be true. Then there are grouchy mothers, stressed mothers, exhausted mothers, faces lined with worry and spirits tired and gray. Other mothers are wise and reliable, but prone to many words or to a lot of noise, and you know that when you need them, they'll be there. Let us tell of fierce mothers, the ones who'll love you even when you are wrong. Let us tell also of absent mothers, whose memories shimmer at the edges of your heart. Let us tell of distant mothers, cruel mothers, loving mothers, giving mothers. There are walkaway mothers, save the world mothers, too busy mothers, mothers you cry because you lost them, and mothers who make you cry because you can't. Stories that could be true. May we hold in our hearts the mothers we have known, those who have loved us, and those who have tried. May we forgive the mothers who don't get it right and try to release the knots of disappointment, anger, grief, pain. May we hold in our hearts the truth that mothering, nurturing, is a task that belongs to all of us. However old or young you are, whatever your gender, may you make extra room for nurturing in your life this week. May you say something real to a harried store clerk. Give a coworker a genuine compliment. Take time to listen deeply to a friend. In our shared silence, may we remember and reflect and create anew the stories of love and nurture from this point forward, stories that can be true. There is too much hardship in the world to not find joy every day. There is too much injustice in this world to not right the balance every day. There is too much pain in this world to not heal every day. Each of us ministers to a weary world. Let us go forth now and do that which calls us to make this world more loving, more compassionate, and more filled with the grace of divine presence every day. Our closing hymn is This Little Light of Mine, number 118. Please stand as you are able. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth.